Hey everyone, today we are filming a little video to talk about our experience trying to treat foot sores after hiking. So if you're looking for a video on how to prevent foot sores, good for you on planning ahead. We're talking about those of us that didn't plan ahead and got foot sores. Sterilize it, let it air out, and then cover it good so it can't get any worse on future hiking trips. So we had this first aid kit along. I've got 3 of these, one in our car, one in the truck, and one in the boat. They think they're $5 at Walgreens, but this has all your basic stuff, alcohol pads, antiseptic wipes, band-aids, etc. The most important things with foot sores, or at least what I learned online treating ours, is to make sure you don't pop the sore, because then it can get infected and you don't want anything to be able to get in there. If yours are like ours and they tore already, then you want to leave that skin that tore in place. So skinned off pretty bad. So we're gonna work here on putting some cleaner on it and then try to pull that flap of skin back over and then let it just kind of air out. You start by taking out your antiseptic and dripping, the alcohol or whatever in there to,
it's the worst part,
to sterilize it. And it hurts a lot. But you want to get it all cleaned out, and then get your hands clean or put on rubber gloves, whatever you have available, and pull that flap of skin back up to cover the part, the raw skin underneath. Over here, we just hit it with antiseptic and then used hand sanitizer first, and then it kind of pulled the skin back up. And then once you have that done, getting air and letting it air out is super important. So I put butterfly bandages across the top,
just to hold that skin up.
Just to hold the skin up, and it didn't cover a ton of the actual torn skin or the wound. It just held that flap of skin up. And then we tried to wear flip-flops and just shoes that let our ankles breathe the rest of the day after the hike. The second piece was hiking the next morning. Our first aid kit came with a roll of tape, and we just pulled like 10-inch strips of tape and wrapped it around the back of our ankles to add kind of a barrier, so if our shoes did keep rubbing, that it would keep the sock from chafing on your skin. It would chafe on the tape instead. So
yeah. And then I think we readjusted our shoes just to make sure that it wasn't that being the problem. So made sure our socks were switched out to something longer instead of short, and just tried to make it the best we could for the remaining days that we were there.
How was your ankle after that bandage?
It hurt for after the bandage on it, it hurt that day, but it wasn't, I could tell it wasn't moving it, so it was fine. But it healed up perfectly.
Yeah. Mine wasn't as bad. I was the first to get a sore, so I was kind of babying it. But then the second day, Lisa's sore was definitely way worse than mine. But it hurt, after the first hike when we bandaged it up. The first day you could kind of feel it. But after I slept the first night, taping it up before hikes to make sure it didn't chafe anymore, I was in very minimal pain unless we were going on very steep up or down grades. But that's all we have for you. And I'm Zach.
And I'm Lisa.
And we are lz.explore.
That's good.
You want to do that again, or you want to leave it like that?
I think